Remember that this was at a time when the day actually that Donald Trump visited Michigan to visit auto manufacturers working at an auto parts plant who were not in a union. That's right. This was not in a UAW factory. This was a non-union plant that he went to, actually disparaging unions. And that was not unlike the people on the stage at the GOP debate. So this is what candidates said about that. Tim Scott said Joe Biden should not be on the picket line. He should be on the southern border. Again, remembering that Joe Biden just visited Detroit and stood on the picket line with UAW workers. He should be on the southern border working to close our southern border. Yeah, with his body. Senator Tim Scott, who did not disavow his earlier remarks that took a harsh line against those striking workers. And then Vice President Pence said that he would fight for the right of workers to decide whether or not to join unions. Joe Biden doesn't belong on a picket line. He belongs on the unemployment line. What? Is that a line? Was that a line you just rehearsed on the line? Does that mean he's out of a job, or does that mean his unemployment numbers are so bad? Because unemployment is actually down. Like more jobs were added to the economy this year than expected. So, but I don't know, Farron, let me kick it to you because I'm so interested in the way that this faux populism is now being completely imploded by the UAW strike among the GOP. And here you see, they are not even sort of lending. I mean, Vice President Pence saying, yeah, I support a worker to decide whether they want to join a union. That's anti-union speak right there. That's right to work BS right there. But what do you make of this?
It is really funny to watch all of these people up there. I mean, apparently the best the Republican Party has to offer, and every one of them immediately pivoted away from the issue. I mean, nobody could actually address it. They're like, unemployment, southern border. Maybe, I don't know if they can or can't, and because they don't know. These are people who have never stood up for American workers. They have never sided with American workers, never passed legislation for American workers. I mean, I could go on forever. But these are people who understand that part of Trump's appeal, if that's a thing, but yeah, to America is the fact that he can sound, even with his golden toilets and opulent castles, he can sound sometimes like he cares about these people, but they can't even pretend. And that's why they have to pivot. That's why they're deflecting, because this is new territory for them. And it's gonna be an issue, obviously, next year, especially with Trump, who's gonna be the nominee. Because this resurgent union movement throughout this country, that's going to play a big role in next year's election. And I think it's one that people, even with the UAW strike, even with the culinary worker strike that could be coming up in Las Vegas, these workers are active, these workers are angry. The Hollywood strike, another huge example. So unions will play a big role. And if these Republicans can't even pretend to care about what these workers need, then that's going to be electoral doom for them next year.
I know, and I really hope that Biden capitalizes on, basically what he's been doing. And I hope he makes promises around and really sees, we've got to overturn the filibuster, but sees to it that we pass the PRO Act and pass that through the Senate. But it is huge. Like, these are the ways that he can hit against them. This is his angle. Yes, it was performative to go to the picket line, but also he openly stood with the UAW and he openly said, look, record profits means record contracts. And that's his sort of line. And again, it's almost like they would rather talk about Medicare and Medicaid than this, because they have a better line, which is still a terrible line around whether they want to cut those social benefits for Americans as well, which is deeply unpopular. They're deeply unpopular people. Can we remember that? And I think, as Farron pointed out, the only thing that Trump had was, again, and has, is a faux working class veneer, ironic as that might seem, but it is very much that celebrity cultivated, I get you. Anyone who is that successful on television has that ability to make you think that they're your friend, right? Obviously, look at me, very successful here on YouTube. No, but so And all of these GOP candidates, I mean, they seethe elitism. They drip privilege. They are so out of touch with the average American people, and it's so obvious.
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.